The universe does not call you 8 times. It calls you exactly 7 times. And if you are hearing this right now, this is the 7th and absolute final call. You have exactly 10 seconds to decide if your life actually matters before the invisible countdown permanently hits 0. Do not scroll. Do not blink. Because something incredibly dangerous is already inside your house. People are terrified of the word emergency. They expect an emergency to scream at them, to kick the doors down, to give them a valid excuse to finally panic. But real life-destroying danger absolutely does not announce itself with a blaring siren. It creeps in quietly. It disguises itself as a perfectly normal Tuesday. It hides behind your comfortable routine and your favorite distractions. Let us brutally examine those first 6 calls you so arrogantly ignored. The sudden gut feeling that you are wasting your potential. The deep, heavy frustration when you looked in the mirror. The toxic relationships you knew were draining your energy, but you kept them around because you were terrified of being alone. Those were not random thoughts. Those were divine warnings. And you muted them. You medicated those warnings with cheap entertainment. You drowned them out with endless scrolling. You told yourself you would finally take action tomorrow. But tomorrow is a completely fabricated illusion. It is a massive, crowded graveyard where the weak masses bury their ambitions. The universe is exhausted from watching you play it safe. 10 seconds is nothing to a sleepwalker. But to a predator, 10 seconds is enough time to completely shift the dynamic of a hunt. The countdown is happening right now, in the heavy silence of your own mind. The danger approaching isn't the monster in the dark. It is the horrifying, irreversible realization that you have lived your entire life as a background character in someone else's movie. The masses constantly search for substitutes. They substitute real, brutal discipline with fake, temporary motivation. They substitute genuine respect with cheap validation from strangers. But substitutes only fill the empty space. They absolutely never fix the foundation. When the storm finally hits, your comfortable substitutes will melt into toxic sludge, leaving you entirely exposed. The chosen ones understand that urgency is not a form of panic. Urgency is elite, calculated precision. When the 7th call rings, you do not sit there analyzing the tone of the ringtone. You lock your jaw, you firmly close your mouth, and you forcefully answer it with massive, undeniable action. You realize that waiting is no longer preparation. Waiting has officially become punishment. Look around at the people who ignored their final warning. They are walking around right now, smiling, pretending everything is fine. But look closely at their dead, unblinking eyes. The fire is completely gone. They missed the window. They allowed the creeping mediocrity to slowly consume them from the inside out, simply because they lacked the courage to be uncomfortable for a few months. You are standing on a razor-thin wire. The chaos of the world is completely unpredictable, and your pathetic illusion of control is shattering. You cannot negotiate with the hands of a clock. Time does not accept your apologies, and it certainly does not care about your good intentions. Intentions without brutal execution are just lies you tell yourself to feel better about failing. So, the 7th call is ringing. The heavy, suffocating pressure in the room is real. This is exactly where the weak break and desperately run back to the safety of their soft beds. But you are not weak. You are going to step directly into the pressure. You are going to let the noise fade away, and you are going to let your ruthless actions do all the screaming. When the seventh call completely stops ringing, what follows is absolutely not a peaceful quiet. It is the deafening, terrifying silence of total abandonment. The universe has officially stopped trying to save you. It has handed you the heavy, brutal consequences of your own endless delays. You wanted more time? The universe just gave you all the time in the world to sit in your pathetic comfort and rot. The danger that is approaching isn't carrying a weapon. It is carrying a mirror. It is going to force you to look directly at the weak, soft, compromising version of yourself that you have actively chosen to become. Every time you avoided the hard work, you are quietly building a heavily fortified prison cell for your own future. And now, the heavy iron door is slamming shut. The sleepwalking masses genuinely believe that divine warnings come wrapped in golden light and soft whispers. But a true warning from the void feels like a cold, wet hand gripping the back of your neck. It violently pulls you out of your pleasant dreams and shoves your face into the gritty, unforgiving dirt of reality. It demands that you wake up before the fire consumes your bed. You cannot politely ask the danger to wait outside while you finish your useless scrolling. You cannot negotiate a peace treaty with a storm. You either become the absolute most terrifying force in the room, or you get completely swept away like a dead leaf. The chosen ones do not fear the storm. They walk directly into the center of the hurricane, because that is the only place where the fake rules are destroyed. Every single excuse you have ever made is currently expiring. The people you thought were going to hold your hand have their own disasters to survive. You are entirely, completely, and brutally alone on this pitch-black stage. And that realization is the most empowering, beautiful thing you will ever experience. Because when nobody is coming to save you, you are finally free to become the monster that saves yourself. 10 seconds. The countdown is almost over. Your brain is frantically trying to find a comfortable lie to ease the heavy pressure in your chest. It is begging you to swipe away, to look at something funny, to numb the anxiety. Do not let it. Sit in the suffocating discomfort. Let the anxiety burn away the lazy fat of your mind until only raw, titanium discipline remains. The ones who survive the seventh call are the ones who violently shift their entire identity in the dark. You no longer identify as someone who is trying. Trying is a pathetic word used by losers to prepare for failure. You are someone who absolutely executes. You lock your jaw, you narrow your wild eyes, and you dismantle every single obstacle with cold, calculated precision. Let the weak masses complain about how unfair the world is. Let them cry about the lack of opportunities while they actively ignore 7 divine warnings. You will use their pathetic complaints as background music while you aggressively build your empire. The danger didn't come to destroy you. It came to permanently separate the elite predators from the comfortable prey. The clock has hit 0. The seventh call has officially ended. The terrifying, beautiful reality is now entirely in your hands. You will never, ever get this specific moment back. You have permanently crossed the line from waiting for a miracle to becoming the unstoppable force of nature that the universe was waiting for. From this exact breath forward, you operate with absolute, lethal urgency. You are the chosen one, and you have answered the final call. If you have completely abandoned your excuses and accepted the brutal truth, drop the words "I heard it" below and hit subscribe. The pathetic waiting game is officially over. Now,